Today, my name is Monia Gerber, and I would like to thank the Post-Harvest Innovation Program and HortGrow for funding this project. In the past, post-harvest management strategies to control scald development have been limited to the use of controlled atmosphere storage and the post-harvest application of DPA and 1-MCP. Despite all these control measures, superficial scald still contributes to significant annual losses. Because of this, my objectives are to investigate the efficacy of different storage regimes and to define various mechanisms of action on superficial scald formation, in order to find biochemical risk indicators prior to the incidence of superficial scald and to adjust storage times accordingly. Granny Smith apples were harvested at pre-optimal maturity due to the high risk of superficial scald development. Fruit were then subjected to 12 different storage regimes, including regular atmosphere, used to test the fruit's susceptibility to superficial scald, as well as treatment with post-harvest crop protectants such as antioxidant DPA and inhibitor of ethylene production 1-MCP. We also tested low oxygen storage regimes, including controlled atmosphere, dynamic controlled atmosphere, as well as repeated low oxygen stress and stored under ultra-low oxygen conditions. We also tested treatment with 1-MCP after harvest in combination with low oxygen storage regimes, as well as management strategies used by the industry with an additional 1-MCP treatment after 24 weeks cold storage. Fruit for the 2018-2019 storage season were evaluated at harvest and again after 4, 8, 16, 24, and 34 weeks cold storage, as well after an additional 6 weeks RA shipment period and 10 days at 20-degree shelf life. In addition to the maturity and quality parameters, we also measured ACC, internal ethylene, O2, CO2, as well as compounds associated with alpha-farnesene metabolism, including alpha-farnesene, cetols, MHO, and ethanol. We also looked at oxidative stress markers, including reactive oxygen species, and performed the descriptive sensory analysis to determine if there is any production of off flavors due to fermentation. Lastly, the study also consists of a proteomic part that is being investigated by the University of Western Cape. Our results for the superficial scald incidence after shelf life indicate that the 1-MCP plus DCA and the 1-MCP plus CA plus 1-MCP, as well as the 1-MCP plus CA plus 1-MCP plus DCA storage regimes offered complete control against superficial scald throughout the duration of the study. However, the R loss in 1-MCP already had slight superficial scald incidence after only 8 weeks plus 6 weeks RA and 10 days at shelf life. The low oxygen storage treatments, including CA and DCA, eliminate superficial scald while in cold storage. However, the symptoms often develop after the 6 weeks RA and 10 days shelf life period. The internal ethylene results after shelf life indicated that the storage regimes with superficial scald incidence, indicated by the green bars, had significantly higher ethylene production when compared to the storage regimes without superficial scald incidence. The low oxygen storage regimes, including CA, DCA, and R loss, had significant ethylene production after only 4 weeks plus 6 weeks RA and 10 days shelf life. In contrast, the 1-MCP plus CA and 1-MCP plus DCA treatment was able to delay the production of ethylene and development of superficial scald until the end of 32 weeks plus 6 weeks RA and 10 days shelf life. It is possible that the efficacy of 1-MCP against ethylene production weakened and slight scald developed. The secondary application of 1-MCP after 24 weeks cold storage was able to inhibit the production of ethylene as well as inhibit the development of superficial scald while maintaining flesh firmness and background color. In summary, our results indicate that the concentration of ethylene, alpha-farnesene, and MHO accumulated in the fruit peel prior to the development of superficial scald and is referred to as the scald induction period. Ethylene and MHO is more closely associated with scald than alpha-farnesene and may be adopted as a tool to determine the risk for future scald development. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I would just like to take this opportunity to thank my supervisor, Dr. Auke Crouch, as well as my co-supervisor, Dr. Pandian. I would also like to thank Infotech, Experco, the Wet Lab, as well as Erika from the Sensory Lab for all their assistance and help with this project.